But I want you to turn to Mark chapter 11, verse 12. Shout amen when you get there. Are we there? Okay, I'll read. And on the morrow when they were come from Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off having leaves, he came if haply he might find anything thereon. And when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of season was not yet. And Jesus answered and said unto it, No man eat fruit of thee hereafter forever. If you read that, you see God cursed the tree he knew was not in season. Maybe. It seems unfair for God to curse a tree that he knows is not season. Now, I've had the privilege of going to Israel with my father, Prophet Uebert Junior. We go there twice a year. And we've noticed something, that in the spring or the winter, figs don't grow on a tree. It's only in the summertime. So God, knowing that it's not season for figs, he still cursed the tree. And it says, Jesus answered and said unto it. I can't shout at Pastor Andrew White now and say, hey, I don't want to do it, without him saying anything. He has to speak to me. Which means the fig tree spoke to Jesus and refused to do what he said. This is what we call opposing natural laws. Maybe I'm speaking to myself. He was opposing natural laws. The tree could have gave him figs but refused to not. This is what my father grew up in Africa, and he always talks about the rhinoceros kind of faith. A rhino has very poor eyesight. It can only see up to 20 feet. As soon as you step 21 feet, it can no longer see you. But it has very sharp hearing. As soon as you just move like this, it will definitely hear you. It realizes I cannot see from 21 feet going on. The only thing I can rely on is my ears. So it closes its eyes and relies on its ears. That's why the Bible says we walk by faith and not by sight. That's why I say faith cometh by hearing. It digs its heels into the ground and charges blind. That's why I say any situation in your life, charge blind, brother. Maybe I'm preaching to myself. I think I came to the wrong church. Maybe I came to the wrong. Charge blind. It says Jesus answered and said unto it, curse the tree. Answered. Your bank account is speaking right now. Answer it. He was opposing natural laws. You see, the problem with most Christians nowadays is they understand that it's winter. It's okay for me to have a flu. They understand that my bank account is on minus. It happens. Am I speaking to somebody? Today I'm opposing natural laws. Oh my God. Verse 20. And in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou cursed is withered away. And Jesus answering saith unto him, have faith in God. Peter only saw that the tree had withered away with his natural eyes the day after. It doesn't mean it happened the day after. See, I might be speaking to you right now and prophesying to you, and it might not happen now, but it doesn't mean it will happen. With your natural eyes, you cannot see it happening now. When they saw Jesus speaking to the tree, they said, this man is crazy. They had no idea that it would happen the day after. But it didn't. It only happened the day after with their natural eyes. Oh my God. And the word have faith in the Greek rendering means have the God kind of faith. For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which have said shall come to pass. He shall have whatsoever he saith. You can just say it, my brother. You don't need too much. Just say with your mouth. Maybe I'm preaching to the wrong crowd. 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. Just because of time, I'm just gonna go through this quickly. Because I really want to show you why they call me son of angel. So just because of time, let's go there quickly. 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 7. Are we there? For we walk by faith and not by sight. For we walk not by sensory perception. Sensory perception is your 5 senses. For we walk not by our 5 senses. Maybe I'm preaching to. We walk by higher laws. We walk. This is what I call audacity of faith. What caused? You see, you guys know the story of Pharaoh, right? What caused? You see, Pharaoh. It says in the Bible that Pharaoh ruled the whole world. What caused Moses to go to Pharaoh and tell him about a God he couldn't see? Telling him, my God that you can't see is saying, let my people go. What caused that? That's why I call audacity of faith. What caused David to pick Goliath, who is 9 feet tall, to pick up 5 smooth stones and say, today I will cut your head off with a sword? Yet the Bible specifically says David did not have a sword. What was it? It was audacity of faith. Maybe. Turn to your neighbor. Tell them audacity of faith. What caused that? That's what I call audacity of faith. I remember one time when I was with my father and we were going to Zambia. You see, there's a difference between my father and a prophet. My father they're 2 different people. Definitely 2 different people. So even like, let me give you an example. I can be like to my father, Uebert Angel, who do you think is going to win this match? And he'll say, I think maybe Manchester United. Then I say, okay, Prophet Angel, who's going to win this match? Then he will tell me Man City. You understand? So I know they're 2 different people. You understand what I'm saying? So we're in the car going to the crusade to Zambia. And let me come down here. So we're going to Zambia and we come out of the car. And instantly, that's when I knew the prophet, this was no longer my father. This was Prophet Angel now. So as we're going to the stadium, we're walking into the stadium, I remember one of the protocol grabbed me because I was a young boy. This was around 2012. I think I was around 11 years old. So he's grabbing me and he's carrying me because it's a big, huge stadium. There's a massive crowd. And I remember we're walking, rushing through people. And there was a lady on the other side of the stadium carrying in her arms something. We didn't know what it was. And she came, rushing through people. And my father just stopped out of nowhere. We didn't know what it was. And he saw the lady approach him. And she unwrapped a dead child. And she handed him the dead child to my father. And my father grabbed the dead child, laid the child on the floor, laid on the child 3 times, put his stomach against the child 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Picked up the child and gave her back, the dead child, and gave her back to the mother. Imagine this mother had just lost her child. And the baby was around 1 year old, had just lost her child. And picked up the baby, laid on the top of the baby, a stomach against the baby's stomach. 1, 2, 3. Gave the baby back to the mother, and the baby just started to cough. And I remember that night, I asked my dad, what caused you? How did you know that this baby was going to come back to life? Imagine if it did not come back to life. He was going to be attacked mercilessly. I said, what caused it to happen? He said, audacity of faith. Listen, I did not know what audacity of faith meant at that time, but I know I took it into my spirit. So even if this morning, you're not going to understand what I'm saying, take it into your spirit. Oh my God. What caused that to happen? Take it into your spirit. Audacity of faith. Listen, I'm about to close. I want you to turn to Matthew chapter 14, verse 19 before I close. Just quickly, because of time. Are we there? Matthew chapter 14, verse 30. I'll read. Pastor Ronnie, can you read this from verse 19? Verse 19.
Matthew 14 from verse 19. Okay. And he commanded the multitude to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and brake and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples to the multitude. Verse 20. And they did all eat and were filled, and they took up of the fragments that remained 12 baskets full. Verse number 21. And they that had eaten were about 5,000 men, beside women and children.
Continue.
Okay. Verse 22. And straightway Jesus constrained his disciples to get into a ship and go to before him unto the other side, while he sent the multitudes away. Verse 23. And when he had sent the multitudes away, he went up into a mountain apart to pray. And when the evening was come, he was there alone. Verse 24. But the ship was now in the midst of the sea, tossed with waves, for the wind was contrary. Verse 25. And in the 4th watch of the night, Jesus went unto them, walking on the sea. Verse 26. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, It is a spirit. And they cried out for fear.
The disciples thought Jesus walking on water was a ghost. Continue. Watch this.
Verse 27. But straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, Be of good cheer, it is I, be not afraid. Verse 28. And Peter answered him and said, Lord, if it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. And verse 29. And he said, Come. And when Peter was come down out of the ship, he walked on the water to go to Jesus. Verse 30. But when he saw the wind,
when he saw, not using his sensory perception. Am I preaching to somebody? Using his sensory perception. This is why I like what we were just ready. Said he could just say to a mountain. When I was in Botswana with my father a few years back, maybe 5 years ago or 7, I don't remember the dates. He went on the stage. This was in Botswana. Just went on the stage and he declared miracle money. Just say that there was no need for money, no need for prayer. Because I remember before that, before we had gone to Botswana, he was in the newspapers. People were saying that he was stealing money. So he said, I want to show them a miracle. Let me declare money. So when I declare money this morning, I'm just saying it. There's no need for prayer. So when I declare miracle and money into your pockets now, just receive it. Am I preaching to somebody? Faith is a product of our consciousness of his personality. I want you to turn to your neighbor and tell them, faith is a product of our consciousness of his personality. I'm about to close right now. I'm about to finish. I just want to say this quickly because I really need you guys to get the word. Before I start to prophesy, I really need you guys to get the word. So Galatians chapter 2, verse 21. Quickly because of time. Are we there? Just shout amen when you get there. Okay. I'll start from verse 20. It says, I am crucified with Christ. Nevertheless, I live yet not I, but Christ liveth in me. And the life which I now live in the flesh, I live by faith of the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me. Listen, Paul was no longer using the faith of God, the faith of Paul. He was using the God kind of faith. He was using the faith of God. That's why that's why he had so much audacity to say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The Bible says, I believe, therefore I have spoken. Therefore I have lalehoed. Tell your neighbor, therefore have I lalehoed.